Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
My name is Rory Farrell.
And today we have...
Noele Stinson from Coldwell Banker.
And Nathan Jones from Coldwell Banker.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you and welcome. Thanks for doing it. We just had a whole conversation about how this podcast is going to go. We'll see if any of those plans stick to best laid plans. First and foremost, we are on location. And, typically I was telling you guys we do this in our quote unquote studio or in our office, but we're here at a different location. So, Noele, why don't you tell us a little bit about where we are and what we're doing?
We are at the Villages at Letter Rock in Harleysville. We have a restored farmhouse and 28 townhomes to sell.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yep. The townhomes are going to be ranging from 2-bed, 2-bath, and 3-bed, 3-bath. All of the first floor units are going to be 2-bed, 2-bath units. All of the second floor units are going to be 3-bed, 3-bath. The way that we got that extra bathroom in those units on the second floor is that there's actually a third floor to these buildings.
Yeah, we were just up there.
Yeah,
Fun.
okay, exactly. It shows there's a loft area that's going to have a additional full bathroom, full bedroom, and
cool.
the utility closet gets put up there.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
When we're done this, if you do want to take a look at some of the units across the street, we definitely
Maybe we'll take a little.
we got to do a little tour around the farmhouse before we started up here, so it'd be nice to show you the rest of what we got over here.
Yeah,
that would be
100%.
awesome.
That'd be great.
Make that happen.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you guys got your work cut out for you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big project, but it's not our largest.
No?
Okay.
What's been the largest?
We had, 36?
Yes, we had 36 townhomes over in Bridgeport, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I saw that on your guys' Instagram.
Yeah,
somewhat
yeah,
recently.
that was exactly
Point?
that was like one of the very first projects that I started with. So I actually got into real estate right as COVID hit. The very first shutdown, like where everybody was completely on lockdown, was the week that I was trying to go around to take a look at different offices and try to talk to office managers to see how where I wanted to fit in and if there was any spot that I wanted to go to before I defaulted to where I already kind of knew that I was going to be at.
Whoa.
Right.
That's crazy.
So it's good for us. He did.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Thank God for code, right? Everyone always says that.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
That is wild. That we were talking off air. You're like, I was going into these offices and it was just me and the hiring manager.
Yeah,
it was hard to get a vibe for like what the office culture
it was a
is,
good
right?
time. Yeah, it was so strange. It was foreign. Like you'd walk in, there'd be literally just the lights of the running space where you'd walk to the like the meeting room that you would go and sit with the single person that's there.
Did you have to
And
wear
he's like, yeah, we had to wear masks. And I'd be like, yeah. How's the office? He's like, office is great. The energy in here is amazing. And it's me and him sitting about like 8 feet away from each other.
Oh, man, what a weird
Yeah, it was definitely a time. I ended up at Coldwell Banker because my family has just grown up working with them throughout the entire time. My dad worked in construction since he literally got out of high school. He started working on his own at 17 when he graduated. My grandfather was a union carpenter. He did ironworking and a couple different other things within the unions way back when, and was dragging my dad every weekday pretty much after school and every weekend to any jobs that he had on the side.
Family affair.
So it was
So
truly a
your dad
family
didn't have a
affair.
choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sounds like you didn't have a choice
Oh
either.
man, the stories that I've heard, my dad be hiding in a closet, get dragged out by my grandfather, and I followed suit. Same exact thing when I was 14 too.
there you go. Nice. So you got it in your blood.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I suppose.
No, yeah, definitely not. And no, how long have you been doing real estate for?
Oh, wow.
So we got
This is gonna
his
show my
origin
age.
story. Let's hear yours.
So June 1st will be 24 years.
Okay.
Nice.
So I was licensed in 2001.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've seen it. You've seen
Seen
it
it all.
I've seen it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it all. It's been fun. It's been crazy, but
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you on the spot. We'll get into the rest of it. But
Okay.
what is this as bad as it's been, or is
As-
2008, 2009, or was
so
it?
I feel like this is my first project in Harleysville. Primarily, I'm in Conshohocken, Plymouth, Lafayette Hill. I don't want to jinx that area, but for some reason, I feel like we're in a safe little pocket there, and really have never felt like a bad market.
Good.
Wow, that's great. Okay.
And I also think Conshohocken's very small, so really, even in a tough time for other markets, we're really never crowded. So I think we dodged a bullet there a little bit.
It's super like sought after area as well. A lot of people, like as soon as a house goes up in Conshohocken, I don't care
Bidding
what year
war.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
somebody
Even
wants
in
it.
a down, quote unquote, down market for,
Yeah. We don't see too many things struggle there. So that's nice.
That's good.
Strangely enough, we had, as we were switching into our last project that we're just at, we had 11 units over in Plymouth Meeting. Right as we were finishing those houses or the townhomes in Bridgeport that we were just talking about, we were transitioning to this job that we're just finishing up. As rates were going up from where we were at pre-COVID and then during COVID, we saw a dramatic shift from first-time house buyers getting pretty much priced out of the market to second-time home buyers darting to make sure that they get that house.
Yep.
We had waves of people once we got to this past project.
Yeah, and they
coming
started
in,
at $1 million.
and we started at $1 million.
So we were lucky. We had 11 to start, and start to finish on those 11, we sold them in 12 months.
Wow.
So we averaged like one a month, really. And then we picked up another lot in that development, and I'm pretty sure that was sold in less than 30 days.
We held it for about a month and
Yeah.
like maybe like less than 45.
It was another
Definitely
really
less
good
than
project.
45.
Wow.
Yeah, which has been nice. And I think we started around 975, 990, and ended at 1,250,000 for
Wow.
the same house.
Awesome.
So it was a really good project, and it speaks volumes of the builder. Good reputation, solid. People follow, and so it's been good.
That's awesome. That's absolutely killer.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So what have you guys been, I guess, a follow-up question to all that would be, what's been your biggest success with, like, is there any marketing you're doing that you're seeing success from? Or is it kind of just like, hey, the house is built, we have a great reputation, people know who we are, and kind of just get up people
So
in?
for this, it's been a lot of open houses consistently. We did a broker's open 3 weeks ago. It was great.
Okay.
A few weeks, we're going to plan to target some of the local businesses.
Okay.
So they've already started reaching out. Now that everyone's seeing the project come to life, it's getting a lot of activity.
Yeah.
The condos, the townhomes are getting painted, and kitchens are going to start going in. So I think once we have a product to show, the difference for us in Plymouth, we had that house in Conshohocken. We were able to run people over. It is so hard for buyers. And they also think, oh, you have 28 of them, you're going to be here. I think once we are able to show it and people can walk it, then we're going to take off. We do have a few lot deposits. We have somebody interested in this home. But again, we just need someone to, once the first person jumps in, then it just follows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we need a finished product.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't buy a car off the factory line.
No, of
you know?
course
Yeah, 100%.
When
Yeah.
do you anticipate that first finished product where someone can kind of walk through and like really get a visual of what it'll look like?
I think we're close to about like a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But they're drywalled and they were painted last week, and kitchens are coming, so we're getting
Yeah, those are the big
You're getting there where you can start
Getting
seeing.
there.
Yeah.
Just
Within the
visualizing.
next, I'd say like 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have something that could be shown very easily. We'd be about, I'd say 87-90% of the way completely done.
Okay. Yeah, but something you can walk through and just be like,
Yeah,
here's where everything's gonna be. You
exactly.
can see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. It's gonna make it a lot easier.
we can understand the floor plan, but it's so hard for a buyer.
You've seen them. It's like you've seen so many. You got people coming in and seeing them for the
And
first
we're
time. It's
even
tough.
sometimes pleasantly surprised because I'm like, oh, you didn't think it would be that big, or you didn't realize. So it is nice to, even for us, it's nice to see it come to life.
Okay. Awesome.
And what's cool, before you were here, Nate was showing us that in this other room over here, that you have all these options that maybe like a quote unquote like a bigger builder wouldn't give you that many options. So like when you're going through and you're seeing that one that's mostly complete, and then you see all the options that are available to you, you're like, oh, now I can.
They
start.
really get to customize.
It's very
they
cool, yeah.
The features and benefits. I mean, a huge benefit to this builder is being able to customize. It definitely drives us crazy, makes our job harder. But it's nice when you're spending any amount of money. It's nice to be able to pick out what you want.
100%. Yeah.
And then we will have 4 that will be ready for quick delivery because you get someone that can't wait to have something built. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be impressive. Nice.
Yeah, we're excited.
Very cool. I think it's important to note, and it's a fun thing that Nate, you've personally connected to this builder, right?
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. So a lot of people ask how realtors get their leads or how they get tied in with big builders. Fortunate for me, I grew up with the builder. I'm his son. Makes everything a little bit easier. I really, I don't try and hide it, especially when I'm going on open houses or doing private tours. I let every single person that I walk through know that I am the builder's son. even though I don't really have to, I don't have any stake in the family business. I don't have anything to do with it. I do their bookkeeping as my day job, and then run out here as soon as I get the call.
Which could be any
it's-
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know you're
Very
on call.
open schedule.
Yeah.
Normally close to home.
Yeah.
I just try to do as much as I can to try and make everybody's lives easier, both in real estate and for the family business, just to make sure that everything's rolling smoothly. And that's really my end goal, is to make everybody's jobs just slightly easier for them to be able to do it as frequently and as consistently as possible.
Great. No, yeah, must be a huge asset to just everybody who works. Yeah.
I'll put in a good word with the old man.
Thank you.
And Noelle, how did you get connected with the builder and his father? And
It really started from the builder. We all use a similar title company.
Okay.
And a lot of times builders, when they're settling, will look towards the person they've trusted to do the acquisition, get them to the closing, because, with buying a big property, and that's a huge part with title. So honestly, I would have to say it started with my title company referring out, saying, this agent's great, she's always on time, or she really cares about her clients, whatever this person's saying, was able to build some relationships for me with local builders. And then it really goes from one to the next, then the builders have, for an example, this builder, the framer, is building in Huntington Valley, definitely, again, out of our wheelhouse a little bit. But once people realize that you know how to run a new construction project and get people to cross the finish line, they don't really care that it's your territory or not. They just want you to be able to.
They know you know how to do it.
And we're settling that property in 2 weeks. So again, that relationship, was the framer sees we're here every day. We're talking to plumbers, we're talking to the electricians, we're on site, definitely going above and beyond. Like, the job is just not selling the house. It's keeping everybody happy and showing up. So I feel like that's how we have our listing in Huntington Valley. Was, I'm sure the builder put a great word in, but these guys see us here all the time too.
Yeah.
It's funny when you show up and you communicate and you respond and stuff. It's not
Do the right thing.
Yeah. And I keep
people
everybody
realize
as
that.
my friend. The plumber, the electrician. I think some people think like, oh, you only communicate with the builder. For example, for this first project at Andre's, I would call the kitchen guy all the time, and he would never call me back. And I'm like, what am I missing? So then he felt like, who is this person calling me? So his name is Craig. He says to Mark, who's Noelle? I'm not calling her back. No, you should call her back. That's the real estate agent. Well, he goes, why do I have to talk to her? And I'm like, you have to talk to me. Like, you have to, because I like to say, like, this is our buyer. This is their personality. If you struggle at all, like, I'd like everyone to know, hey, if there's a problem, come back to me. Don't just give up. Like, we're going to work this out. And I like to say, this is the floor plan. This is the, person, you're not just a real estate agent, you're a therapist. Like, we wear a lot of hats, like every job, right? I mean, I'm not just saying we do. I feel like everyone does.
I think
I'm sure you
realtors
guys feel the same
specifically.
way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, at least people
yeah,
in our
yeah,
industry
yeah, exactly.
wearing a lot of hats.
Service-based industry. Yeah.
And you have to read your audience, know your audience. So if we already know we have someone that's a little tricky or a little bit not nice or whatever the reason, I like to let these subs know, hey, or vendors, they're going to come to you. They're going to come off like they're just really aggressive or mean or snobs or whatever. And I feel like if everybody gets a little warning. So again, this took years to the relationship with the builder was great. All the vendors were just I'm not calling her back. And I was like, oh no, you're going to like me. We're going to work this out.
We're going to make this happen. Yeah. Don't you worry.
Yeah, exactly. So that was just knowing that to keep everybody happy, we all have to get along. It's not just Noelle and Nate. It's Noelle, Nate, and every vendor and sub that is on this project. We all have to be friends,
It could be, and it will be a long process. So it's you don't want it to be rocky the whole way through.
And it's benefited us. I didn't do it. And the whole reason doing it was just really to run smoothly, but it has worked in our best interest because we got another listing out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's great.
Who knows?
When you work in construction, in any facet, there's always opportunities for them to make their own jobs, find their own spots to try and build to sell. And when, like she said, when you're being close with all of them, you at least have your foot in the door to try and get those jobs, try and sell those listings.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like if we're working with a realtor and we do a really good job for them and they leave that team and they go work for another team and they're like, well, why don't you guys talk to my guy?
They're sticking with you.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you might get in with their real estate team. It's the same scenario,
Yeah. When you find your people, you build your team and,
Yeah. And just kind of grows.
Especially if you've been doing it as long as you have, it's kind of bouncing around doing it and knowing that you have a proven product all the way through.
Yeah, like you have the right mortgage person if the commitment's just in your email that it's due or the day before, and I'm not chasing it down or reminding them.
And it's
that's
clean.
And that's the biggest asset is knowing who you're working with and keeping everybody.
The less you need to worry about, right?
sure.
You just know that that's going to be there and it's going to be clean and you're going to settle on time.
Definitely takes some of the stress away.
Yeah.
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 Noelle, you were mentioning that you guys work well together, and he's got some skills that you might not have, and you have skills that he might not have. Talk a little bit about that and that relationship and what you've developed over the past couple months.
Yeah, and it's a great thing to talk about because I'm definitely a control freak and think I can do everything. And Nate's always reaching out, how can I help? What do you need me to do? So it took a long time to recognize that, number one, you do need help with this size project. For me, I think my strengths definitely are negotiating, following up with the agents, writing the contracts, and then ordering the payoffs, getting everything where it needs to go because it's a lot of the math and a lot of, you have to move fast in this business. So the minute we get any kind of agent to reach out and want to get in, and then when it comes down to the more important stuff as far as negotiating and writing, I think that, and meeting the appraisers and keeping everybody, especially when we're pumping sales prices higher and trying to justify it, I definitely think that's my end of, and everyone usually will just call me or come to me because they recognize the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the younger team members that are great with all the young things. That people do.
I got one of those myself over here.
Exactly.
That's why we have a podcast, because I have a
work
young...
out quite a lot of the technical difficulties like in the background
Well,
that
literally, we
pop
walked
up.
in, you had a TV set up, and Noelle's like,
yeah.
where'd that come from? How'd that get set
my
up?
house.
And I'll
Exactly.
say, like, Nate, I love this form. I just sold new construction for so-and-so. We don't have this, but we should. The next day I'll have it. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have. Like, it's either I go to Nate or I go to my son. But Nate definitely will get it done faster. Michael wants to know what he's getting paid. I always tell him St. Joe's Prep is what he's getting paid. But he doesn't.
The past
think
18
that's-
years of your life.
Yes, exactly. But there's Michael's still missing a few forms that Nate's already had in my email for the last 12 months. So again, I think that's where I see value in doing a walkthrough in this great form. And I'm like, oh, we need this because everybody likes to settle in and say, oh, we didn't open every cabinet, or we didn't do this, or we didn't do that. Okay, let me pull your form. No, here it is. You signed it. That cabinet did not have a ding.
Yep.
Would have been noted. So again, it's just, it helps us with accountability and that's where I feel like, Nate can create things with QR codes, and I wouldn't even honestly know where to begin.
I'm a big form, organized list guy. Like, 'cause if I don't have stuff like that, I'm like, I'm spinning. My head's too many places.
Yeah, no. So it's a nice. I always say we have our strengths and weaknesses, and it's nice to kind of see that.
It's a good combo. Yeah.
it is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And your sister also works on the project, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
sounds like
she
maybe a
works-
design person, right?
Yeah, she's a little bit more in the background. She's starting to get more into everything, but she's just been kind of hanging out and riding it out with us.
She probably picked everything for in here.
She did. She did. I think
Great
I was
job.
telling you guys about that.
She'll pull the tile and just put like a palette together, and I'm like, I would have never seen those
Nah,
three things
you either
together.
got that or you don't.
And I always say to her, I'm like, Allie, it's such a gift. So that's nice to have somebody. So she will now help buyers sit down on their selection day. So they come here, they'll sit down, and it's really nice because she has a good eye. And unless you're working with an interior designer, a lot of the buyers, some of the buyers do. I think it's like 50-50. And everybody brings their boards, and they have their vision boards and things that they've, or they have,
Their Pinterest.
Pinterest. They have stuff from every other house they've looked at in their, photos. So it's nice that Allie's able to help them get it all and
That's cool.
together,
Pull it
maybe.
together.
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right
I
on.
don't know if there's you wanna touch on anything else.
No, I think anything else you guys want to promote on this particular property, or really anything else that
just
you guys
that
got
we're
going on.
here.
And,
We do have a lot coming in West Conshohocken. It's going to be a really neat build, great views, a lot of glass in the house, super convenient to Philly. We have a gorgeous lot in Bluebell. Probably going to be building in the Arden model, which was our most popular model in Plymouth Meeting. What else?
Are you guys doing mainly new construction? Like,
Yeah.
is that
With
like
this
your
builder.
bread and butter?
We do. Yeah, this is our bread and butter. is that
With
we're-
this
we've been-
builder, yeah.
There might be a couple rehabs that might get thrown into the mix, but we've been primarily all new
All new.
construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's fun. It's fun seeing them from start to finish.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I get a little bit sad when we close out a community, but I'm also like, it's the way you're keeping your job is getting that.
Well, yeah.
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 If it was still open, you'd be in trouble.
Because you get to know everybody, and then it's so nice. We go to Andre's Estates in Plymouth, and everybody's waving, saying hi. So it's just fun. It's a lot of work, but when you're having fun doing it, it doesn't feel that way. But we're here every Wednesday. We do 4 to 6. Saturdays, we have some of our agents in Bluebell helping out. They're here 12 to 2, and any private appointment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's the best way to reach out to you guys to get set up with a private?
I would say through email, showing time. We have a website for the development. You can send stuff through there.
Okay.
We're flexible. If the buyers can't be here initially, we honor them. Like, we're just looking to get them sold and keep moving.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Killer.
Well, thank you for inviting us into your
Yes,
almost
thank
done
you for
home.
coming.
Yeah.
Coming out and doing all of this.
Of course.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it was
great.
easy. Like I
It's
said,
fun.
we just let it flow and chat.
Exactly.
And,
Yes.
Yeah.
very
Really
cool.
back.
I think that was perfect. We're definitely gonna go take a look at another.
Yeah, take a look at the why do I call them
Other-
condos?
yeah. Well, it
Townhouse.
was.
Yeah.
They were going to be condos. This was actually going to turn into like an apartment complex before we actually bought it out. Like the plans were already here
Oh, okay.
for the place. We buy pre-approved usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were looking at when we got these. We were like, we don't want to hold on to 29 units. We just want to sell them and just be done with it.
Yeah.
So it turned from condos to village.
Yeah.
Villages, yeah, townhomes.
Can't wait to
Great.
see it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Beautiful guys.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
so
you guys
much.
coming on. Happy Friday. Happy 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 hour.
Yeah, that too.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye now.